Hi, my name is George Pedros and I'm a registered hypnotherapist and master NLP practitioner at helpmypain.com.au, where we help people with chronic health conditions including anxiety and depression, as well as issues related to personal, business and athletic achievements. I was watching a documentary recently on YouTube about DNA and was surprised to learn that we share 50% of our DNA with a banana and almost 99% with our primate cousins, the chimpanzees and gorillas. But I guess what makes the difference is that 1%. What we have different from all the other animals is that prefrontal cortex, that last bit of the brain that developed in humans that doesn't exist in other animals. Not only that, it also takes the longest to develop. It doesn't just happen at birth, it takes almost 25 years to fully develop, and in some people you'd swear it never stood a chance to develop at all. The role of the prefrontal cortex is to provide context to what has happened, to what is happening, and to understand it. If it's a good thing, to make sure it happens again. If bad, to make sure it never happens again. It's a way to make sense of the world, to see those patterns that can make all the difference. Unfortunately, we sometimes mix up these patterns. We don't process things properly because as the prefrontal cortex is developing, as it is learning, a lot can happen to us in this crazy, mixed up modern world. Things that can be very difficult for a kid to process. So much so that it can create a permanent way in which we process events, and quite often not for the best, not for your best interests and not for the best interests of those around you. Now, I don't know if you know the story of the Golden Buddha. Legend has it that a monastery in Thailand 800 or 900 years ago had a huge magnificent Golden Buddha near their temple. Word had it that the Burmese army was closing in, and so as to protect their treasure, the monks covered the statue with clay and dirt to make it invisible. They did such a great job that when the Burmese army went past, killing all the monks, they left the statue untouched. They didn't see it. They had no idea it was there. Because the monks all died, the statue, the Golden Buddha, was left untouched for centuries. It was only about 50 years ago, when some renovations were being done to the monastery, that some excavation equipment was brought in and it removed some of the clay, and a worker noticed something gleaming in the dirt. The soil and clay was soon removed and the Golden Buddha stood once more, beautiful and majestic, as the original creators had planned. Now I wonder how many times we allow other people, circumstances, even our own selves to cover us with dirt, to lose our shine, to become invisible. Sad to say, it happens all the time, and it usually comes down to that internal dialogue, that critical voice we all have deep inside ourselves. When I ask successful people about this voice, they say that they do have that same internal critic, but the difference is they have a rule. They will listen to it, they will analyze it, then they make a decision to act. They do something, they make a move. They don't sit there like a deer in headlights. They all have a process to deal with that internal critical voice. They may put it in a box and bury it, or put it in a box and then on a boat and watch it sail over the horizon. I've heard many ways now and they all seem to work. So it's the process of how we deal with circumstances that makes all the difference. It's how we allow the prefrontal cortex to make sense and deal with what's happened. Remember that luck does happen. There is good luck, there is bad luck, but on the whole, luck is neutral. It's how we process the situation and what action we take that makes all the difference. The good news is that strategic hypnotherapy can identify those patterns of thinking, those patterns which may not serve you well for where you are right now. We can, with your permission of course, put new software that will help you deal with that critical voice effectively, to learn from past experiences and move on, take control and be effective. If you would like to learn more about how strategic hypnotherapy can help you or someone you know, then you can contact me through my website helpmypain.com.au or through Facebook. Thank you for listening. And as I say, hypnotherapy isn't magic, but there sure is something magical about it. Thank you.